Evelyn to Philip, Wednesday, March 10th, 3:45 p.m. My Phil, received your Monday letter this evening, but still no check. Your letter was very sweet and bolstered my low spirits. I didn't feel good all day today. I have a splitting head cold and it's very annoying. I stayed in bed all morning and finally got up when Adele started to cry, 12:45. She was wet and didn't hesitate letting me know about it. I must have gotten the head cold when I walked to Broad Street with Anne. It was nice but very cold. Today we are having typical spring weather. Page 2. But since I felt so lousy, Adele did not go out. You ought to see her in her new dress. The neighbors next door make such a fuss about her that I hardly know what to say. I think Adele is getting a bit plump, pleasingly so. Not on her face, but on certain parts of her body. In fact, she weighs more than Vito now. 7:45 p.m. Guess what, honey? Yep, I just came through. No wonder I felt so miserable today. And if you don't think I feel better, mentally anyway, you don't know. It was worrying me more than I cared to admit. These last few mornings, page 3, I awoke with a hungry feeling and it bothered me terribly. However, all is well once more. Harry and Ben were over to see Adele this afternoon and brought her a bottle holder. I never knew there were such gadgets. Even Ben doesn't like the army, believe it or not. I ripped both pairs of rayons, but they're still wearable. Adele wet me for the first time today. I sat her in my lap and she wet through the diaper onto my candy-striped wool, right in the presence of Ben and Harry. I had to call the gas company again today because the heater, page 4, made those awful noises. They discovered that the hot water heater wasn't heating properly, hence the lack of hot water. They, 2 men, also discovered that a certain part, 2 leather rings, had to be replaced, thereby eliminating that awful loud bang the heater made when it turned on and off. Well, sweetheart, as I gaze at the likeness of you, wish that we could end this day by getting into bed together, instead of saying, I love you, dearest, on paper. Until that happy day, always and after, your Evie. Philip to Evelyn, Wednesday, March 10th, 9 p.m. Darling, if you'll notice, I'm starting this rather late. I hope to finish before lights out, and if I keep nursing this pen along, I never will. Once in a while, it just refuses to write. Excuse me while I get a pencil. Now, the reason I'm late is that I went to see Random Harvest again, this time with Red. And although he's swell company and enjoyed the picture immensely, I longed for your presence beside me. And that knowledge that you felt the same ebb and surge of emotion that moved me as the story unfolded. Do you remember how lovey-dovey I was when we were in the drugstore eating ice cream after the show? Of course you do. Did you not kiss me right there to let me know you understood and felt as I did? I think it was the sweetest moment I ever knew when you read my desire in my eyes and quite instinctively leaned to me for that kiss you knew I craved at that particular moment. If I live forever, that kiss will linger in my mind as the proof of the divinity of our love for each other. And I shall always remember that Random Harvest was the picture that inspired that all-pervading feeling of tenderness. I enjoyed the repeat performance, page 2, almost as much as the first one, but the aftermath just wasn't there. I mean by that you weren't there, sweetheart, and I miss you so very, very much. Last night we saw Keeper of the Flame with Tracy and Hepburn, and a newcomer named Forrest Tucker, who will be the greatest heartbeat in the movies in a few months. Wait and see. The picture itself is very good, one of the best. Don't miss it. Gee, Chippy, I can't help but feel guilty that I am apparently having a swell time movie-going while you're so tied down that you don't even get out to an occasional show. Today was a miserable day, the weather, I mean. It was cloudy all day and rainy all night. In today's letter, yours, you asked what the PS ? Quickie meant. No, baby, with a one-track mind. But what an interesting, intriguing track. It didn't mean what you took it to mean. You see, I just wasn't in a writing mood when I began the letter, and I thought it would be a quickie, short letter. But as is so often the case, it turned out to be an average-sized letter, after all. Therefore, the PS ? Versteh? Glad to hear that Ben finally got home, although the circumstances aren't at all conducive to a happy vacation. Give him my best, will you, honey? And now it's bedtime, and I must say goodnight, and until tomorrow and forever after, I love you, my own darling. Kiss that 13-pound, 13-ounce bundle of sweetness for me, will you? My love to all. I am enclosing the income tax form. You'll notice the amount of earnings does not deduct the $300 allowed for military personnel. I made the amount purposely high, but short of the number required to be taxable, even if mom's dependence isn't allowed, so that there will be no question about it. Just sign your name below mine, have it notarized, and send it in. I still love you, now and now and now.